am a victim of social media. Some days I find myself doom scrolling on TikTok for hours. But one good thing does come out of all of that. I get new book recommendations all the time. And then I bulk order them. And then we end up with something like this. A Booktok TBR. Hi, hello, and welcome everybody to this brand new video. What are we doing today? I mean, I've already told you, right? We are reading books that Booktok told me to read. And specifically these 4 books. I know it's very ambitious to plan on reading 4 books in 5 days, but then again, it's me, right? As always, I'm gonna have timestamps down below so you can just go to the book you're interested in, or you can just watch the entire video, which is always fun. By the way, do tell me which book Booktok influenced you to read, because honestly, half my shelf has been influenced by people. I am very easy to influence. But today, we are reading a few books, alright? I am planning on reading The Housemaid, which is a thriller, kind of like darker setting. Next up, I have a palate cleansing romance. We're reading Betting on You by Lynn Painter. And then the book that I feel like has been all over Booktok for the past 3-4 weeks. The Crimson Moth, or if you're in the US, The Heartless Hunter. And then the last book that I have here is When the Moon Hatched. This is a dragon fantasy enemies to lovers. I have no actual idea what it's about. That's all I know. And I bought all these books just because of these tiny little snippets and people telling me they're really, really good. So we're gonna test that today. And honestly, I am just gonna start with the biggest one. I'm gonna start reading When the Moon Hatched. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition. It's gorgeous and beautiful. I'm gonna take you along. Honestly, I'm not sure if I can read this book in a day because it's 550 pages, but then again, I've done this before, right? I've read bigger books in a day, so let's just get into it. Let's just start reading this book because I've been so excited for it. Let's read! I just took off the dust jacket of this gorgeous book. It's just so stunning. Oh, it's so good. Oh, there's content warnings. Am I the only person that gets excited by the fact that there will be content warnings? This book has a glossary and a pronunciation guide. I'm just gonna look through the trigger warnings. Ooh, torture! Yes. Why am I like this? I'm probably gonna need the pronunciation guide because, let's be honest, I'm shit at pronouncing things. Let's get started. The world began with 5. Let's start reading and I'll come back to you with an update once I have an update. I've missed this. I've missed this world building. The way that you read 50 pages of a fantasy book, which is essentially nothing, and you still are not anywhere near the main plot line. Right now we're following Rave, our main character. She's like an assassin that works for this assassin's guild, where she doesn't really have her own free will, but she saves children from trafficking. I think that's kind of her job. And that's kind of like where we're at right now. And we're just introducing the world. I'm still confused because this is fantasy in like a completely different world. We have different time. The concept of time here is vastly different. They have phases instead of years, and I'm not sure how old they are because they're talking in phases, which it shouldn't really matter. Right? It's an adult fantasy, that's for sure, because we're talking very mature, very literal themes. I'm excited though. I'm really, really excited. I know from the blurb on the book that at some point she's gonna end up in prison and that's where they'll meet, I think. I'm not sure. I will continue this now. I will continue reading and come back to you once I'm actually at the plot of the book and not at the world building part of the book anymore. I used to be purely a fantasy reader, by the way. And then I kind of like ventured into romance, and now I would say I'm mostly a romance reader, but I want to be both. But we're reading. We're going back in. All right, I'm 150 pages in this far. It's good. It's very good so far. Currently, our main character is in prison because she stepped into a trap, and now she's in prison, and the king came into the prison and was like, "It's you, this can't be." So I'm guessing that they knew each other before and she just kind of like was brainwashed into forgetting that they knew each other before. He's kind of like helping her right now do some stuff, and I think that at some point the two of them will work together. This is about where I will stop telling you about the plot line because you should read this book by yourself. but it's very good so far, and I can encourage you to do so because it's very good so far and I don't feel bad about it. Anyway, I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying the characters. I'm weirdly enough enjoying him a lot. He seems like he's a good egg and he gives her nicknames. Like, that's all I care about. I don't have high expectations. I want a cute nickname and then it's fine. He calls her Moonbeam, by the way, which I think is cute. I'm really here for it, honestly. I'm ready. I'm ready to continue reading this now, to really, really get into the story. Let me continue reading this. I just want to meet the dragons. I just want to meet the dragon. Just a dragon? Is that too much to ask? Okay. I'll be back with news. I really like him. I'm kind of crying right now. Like, just a little bit crying. He's a good person. I have a feeling there is history there that I don't know about. She doesn't know about the history, but he knows about the history. The king. I've just also now realized there's 3 different kings. Maybe you should know this. 3 different kings, so they're not all the same, and there's 3 of them. They're brothers. I'm on page 225. It's so good. It's so good. I like the world we're like on. I enjoy the fact that I have this map so I know what I'm imagining. It's good. It's fun. I like it. I'll continue this book now and I am hyped. Very hyped. It's very fun. I thought the book was gonna go there and then it went there and then it still went, it went completely different. I am amazed by this book. We just did a whole 360 fighting scene and at the same time the dragon. I like the dragon. The dragon's cool. I saw something coming and it happened, but it still kind of blew me away. Also, a person that I thought was male in the beginning of the book is actually not. It's they're a female. She's a female. So that happened. It's good. That's all I'm saying, all right? The book is very good. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast. And I think that anybody who reads this book will have a blast. It's very, very good. It's just the romance is there, but it's secondary, but it's still very good. The plot line is very important in this, and I like the characters a lot. I'll probably honestly finish this book by the end of the night. Okay, but you don't know how this book makes me feel right now. Look at this, okay? Take a good look. This is how much I have left to go. I'm an emotional wreck right now. I cry a little bit every few pages because it's good. The thing is, I thought this would be a standalone. It's obviously not a standalone, it's a trilogy. And the first book just came out. How am I supposed to wait for the rest of it? It's been a while since I read a fantasy book in one go and I loved it. That says something about a fantasy book. I need to know. I need to know how this ends. I don't want it to end, which, but I have to. I have to let it end. I have to. Okay, but how do you return to reality after finishing a book like this? How? How are you supposed to do that? I am so invested. Of course I want to know what happens next. But how am I supposed to do that? It's just not possible. I don't have words right now. This book was so good. I'm always scared saying this, immediately after reading the book, but it was great. It was so good. It was a lot, but it was great. And it's definitely worth picking up. It's a great story. And I cannot wait for the next book. I can't wait. I really want the next book. Good morning. Welcome back to me wearing the same outfit as I wore yesterday, but with a different book. For today, I have decided to be reading The Housemaid. This is, as I said before, a thriller about a housemaid who knows everything about the family and then things go wrong, I think. I don't know. I don't necessarily know what this is about, but I will tell you as soon as I know, actually. This is the plan for today, The Housemaid. I'm gonna be reading this book now. I'm gonna sit back, relax, chill out, and read this book. Let's go! That's a good first sentence. The first sentence is, if I leave this house, it'll be in handcuffs. I love that. There's a body! Why is it that the families in thrillers are always so weird? This family that she's in, it's so shady. The room only has a lock on the outside, like her room that she's staying in, because she's like a live-in housemaid. Describes the child that lives there as if it came straight from a horror movie, and she says there's a 25% chance that the kid will unalive her in her sleep. This entire house, this entire family is giving creepy vibes. And now this kid apparently has a peanut allergy, but they have peanut butter at home and nobody told her about it, and now they're blaming her for not knowing. It's just, everything's shady. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure if thrillers are for me. I've just now realized. I'm gonna continue reading now. I'm 34 pages in. Like, it's not much. Then again, the book is only 300 pages. I feel like I'm gonna get back to you once I'm a little further into the book and once I know a little bit more about it that I can tell you about, because it's a lot. The mail just got here, and so did this. This is Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. I'm very, very excited for this book. You don't even know how excited I am for this book. It is 610 pages long. I am not sure who writes romance books this thick, but apparently Lauren Asher does. The plan is to also read this book this week, probably after I finish The Housemaid, which will probably honestly be this afternoon. You know me. You know me by now. Like, I will do it. We will be reading this sometime this week. I'm not having the time of my life right now. Like, I'm not. I'm just not. Every time I try, I just realize that I'm not a thriller girly. And this might be somebody's thriller, but it's not mine. I don't understand it. It's not fun. This is not fun. I want to read something else. I did it. Well, technically, I did not do it, alright? After 77 pages of this book, I decided that this would be a clear DNF. I did not care. I do not care for thrillers. This might be an incredible thriller, and this might be an incredible book, but it's just not the book or the genre for me. I just don't care. So I read the last 4 chapters, which were fun and plot twisty, but I wasn't invested, so I didn't really care. Also, I was kind of expecting it. I'm glad it's over now. It's not my go-to genre. I'm sorry if this is your book. Yay! It's just not mine. I hate that, but yeah. So right now I'll be doing what I actually want to be doing, which is read this book. I'm very excited to read Love Unwritten. However, I will not be reading this book as it is because look at this beautiful spine. Like, just look at her. I feel like reading on a Kindle again, so I'm gonna pick up my Kindle and get started because this book, much like any other Lauren Asher book, is on Kindle Unlimited and I can just read it there. Let's read this book. 1 second. Give me 1 second to fangirl, okay? It's a single dad nanny billionaire romance. I'm so excited for this. She's a songwriter that's kind of like struggling, and he's a billionaire and she's his nanny. Well, not his nanny, but the nanny for his son. What more could you want? Like, honestly, what more could you want? I'm gonna excuse myself now for the next 5 to 6 hours. I'm going to read this book and tell you all about it because I am invested. I'm done for. I'm done for. He's a philanthropist with a life mission to find and rescue mistreated animals before fostering them in his backyard barn. He rescues animals. The only con that this man has is that he's her boss. But do we really care? Absolutely not. Let's go. I'm so excited. And it's small town. Stop. Just, at this point, just like, dig me a grave, bury me alive. I'm dead. So good already. I've read like 2 pages, and I'm a fan. I'm a stan. I'm an ambassador. Why am I like this? Stop it, Vivian. Stop. I'm gonna be reading now. I'm gonna get back to you once I have an update on this book, which is probably gonna be soon because I will not be able to shut up about this book. But I'm very excited about it. This is so cool. 12% of the book, I'm already crying. What more could you want? Honestly, nothing. I love this kid. I don't know anything about Nico, but I love this kid so much. I would die for him immediately. And I don't even like children. I do like fictional children though. So that's a thing because kids in books, they're always heaven. Plot of this book, right? We have the guy, Raphael. And he's like very rich and he's also very single, but he has a son, Nico. Nico is about to go blind. He has retinitis pigmentosa. And then you have Ellie. And Ellie is the nanny, or she was a nanny until she was fired because Nico hurt himself while walking because he's losing his vision, and she knew and she didn't tell the dad. So he fired her. I just cried because of that. I just cried because Nico was like, you always make everybody leave, and it's sad. I'm invested in the book. I'm 12% in, as I said before. It's good. It's like reading something that makes you happy, and at the same time you're just invested in the story. It's cozy. You already know this is gonna be a happy ending. I'm happy. Hi, I'm back. I am now 37% into this book. I am pretty sure that by tonight, like the middle of the night, I will probably be done with the book, honestly. It's so good. It's so fun. The amount of angst that I'm currently living through, because she's like, he's my boss. I shouldn't want this because I might jeopardize this poor child's love that I have for this child. And he's like, he's so important to my son, so I have to like control my feelings for her because this is important. Like, my son is the most important person in my life, and it's just, he doesn't want the son to lose another very important person in his life, so he's just not even gonna try. Child is my everything. I'm just gonna chill out for the rest of the night, just gonna relax, read my book, and talk to you again once all this is further along. Let me get back to reading. Welcome to my realistic morning of reading. It's now 10 a.m. I woke up at 8 a.m. and I finished reading the book, Love Unwritten. If you hear birds, they're awake as well. I really had a good time with this book. It was cute, it was fun. There was no third act breakup.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Like, excuse me? Their relationship was cute and adorable, and I had a blast. Let me grab the book for 1 second. Alright, here it is. Also, yes, I'm still in my PJs, by the way. This shirt has seen better times. There's a lot of rhinestones missing. By the way, this is like a realistic week of reading for me. Like, I read a lot every day. It's just a thing. So, yeah, I'm very happy that I finished this book, and I will just like immediately start reading the next one, I guess. I mean, not immediately because I need to take a small break and then I need to take a shower because this is not fun anymore. And the next book will be The Crimson Moth. I've been so excited to read this book because honestly, people have been telling me how great it is for a while now. So I'm very excited to get to it. Again, this is a witch hunter romance fantasy. A moth to flame, a witch to burn. It's too early for me. I will read this probably like today. If it's really good, I will finish it today. If not, then I will finish it by tomorrow. I'm excited. That's all I can say. So I will see you once I actually start reading this book. Stop everything that you're doing. This man, alright, the witch hunter in this case, he's like unaliving witches left and right, and he's hunting for the Crimson Moth, which is like the witch that tries to free other witches again, who is our main character. And she knows who he is, obviously, but he doesn't know. He suspects, but he doesn't know that she is the Crimson Moth. So she's trying to woo him because she's like, he's the captain of the guard, like, he could help me figure stuff out. And he's like, maybe she knows something. I'm gonna like try and impress her. He's taking it too far. You can already tell, like, that he has feeling in this. You can tell. Maybe it's just my little romantic heart, but I can tell. He's making her a dress. His parents were dressmakers, and he's making her a dress. He created a design and he's making her a dress because she says she doesn't have a dress. It's adorable. Like, I'm pretty sure like they're gonna betray each other at some point and things are gonna go like downhill. But at this point where I'm at right now, he's making her a dress and it's fun. I enjoy this book. I like it. It's a classic YA fantasy, and I do realize that I've not been reading a lot of YA fantasies in a while. I do enjoy them. I do love a good YA romance from time to time. I just always like to pretend that the characters are not actually 17. So I'm just imagining them to be like in their mid-20s, and that's fine. I'm gonna continue reading. I'm on page 108 now. I still have all night to finish this book. Well, not finish, but to continue reading this book. And I will update you once I'm further into it because it's fun. It's a good book so far. I like it. Good morning, everybody. It is now Thursday morning. I'm not having the best day. The last 2 days were not good for me. It was very warm. My body doesn't like it being warm. I don't like it when it's warm. Today, I'm just like trying to get back into my flow. Let me grab the plans for today. I got them both. So first plan for today is finishing the Crimson Moth. Like, I read about an hour yesterday and I'm like 120 pages in. It's good. I like it. It's easy to read. And then I think that by this afternoon, I will probably start with this book. I have high hopes for this just because the cover and everything is giving better than the movies. And I love that book so much. So Betting on You is on the table also for today. I'm just gonna go straight into reading because that's what we're all here for. We're all here for me doing a lot of reading. Guess who just finished The Crimson Moth? It's me! You didn't know. I just finished the book. I read it the entire morning. It was good. I feel like there was something missing. Like, in the end, like, it was kind of like a little predictable. I did enjoy it, so that's still good. It just, like, it's not gonna be my new favorite book. I understand why people like it. I don't know why, but it just felt like something was missing, just a little bit. I get that it's a good book, it's fun. I like the magic in this. It's just, something's missing. But it's definitely worth it if you want to pick up a book and if you like maybe want to get into fantasy. I think that would be a good choice. Let's move on from this book and go to the last book of today's video, which is this. Betting on You, a violin painter. I don't know what this is about. It's a romance, a YA romance. I think I'm just gonna get into this. Let's do this. It's now Friday afternoon, and I thought, now that I can talk again, I'll give you a little bit of a recap. Yesterday wasn't the best day for me, okay? It wasn't the best day. I couldn't talk. It happens. So I read this book, and it was good. I had a very, very good time. I giggled, I kicked my feet. I was happy with this. The Taylor Swift references, the amount of times that Lynn Painter quoted Taylor Swift or other popular artists was very cool. I liked that. I enjoyed their little relationship. I enjoyed the little fake dating. I just overall had a good time. This was a good, comfortable romance. You can also tell when I started reading the book and when I listened to the audiobook, which was about halfway through, I just realized that it's faster if I actually read, but in the beginning I couldn't do any reading because I was just too done. So I started with the audiobook, but I enjoyed the book thoroughly. I thought it was very good. I had a blast, and that's all we care about. This was fun, this was good, and I can only recommend that you read this book because it's a good one. I liked it. And with that, we're gonna end this video. I need to take a break. My brain needs to take a break. I've been reading so much. You don't even know how much I've been reading. I read another book today that I didn't even talk to you about. I realized that I've read it before. It was a whole thing. It's this one, by the way. It's Collide. I don't know when I read this. I'm pretty sure that at some point this was probably on Wattpad or something. I mean, I had a good time. It's an ice hockey romance, but I didn't read it, so that's fun. I'm gonna say goodbye to you all because I need a break. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like, and I will see you for the next video that I will make. Bye, everybody! Why am I like this? I'm so glad that I'm better, by the way. I struggled so hard all day this morning to talk. I couldn't talk. I was communicating with my phone to my roommates because I just couldn't form any words. And then I took a long nap. After that nap, I was like, okay, I can do it again. It doesn't seem impossible to talk. But it's still hard, and I will shut up for the rest of the night. I won't talk again. It's very taxing. It takes a lot of energy right now to talk. So I will just stop. Alright, I'll see you soon. Bye!